Good morning, good afternoon, good night to all our listen. Today we are here in a new section where we're going to tell you one of the best books we have ever had, called Coffin Carved by Hands by Truman Capote. We invite you to buy it and read this book, and without further ado, we start with the novel. It was a very quiet morning in the city of Cali. It was cold as usual in the city. You could feel the dawn of a city full of joy. What they think come of. Finally, a tragedy at a rape and with it a great detective.
How long have you been on the case?
It's been a while since I heard that I caught the first fly here and died, taking me long to hit to the scene of the crime.
Jake had talked to her of the phone about what had happened in the house over the past few years, but left the best details for when the sea arrived.
There I was, walking in the dark night of a city I barely knew. I noticed a few steps away from me a man sitting on the sidewalk. Turned out to be Jake, who was waiting for me. He had a bottle of alcohol in his hand and a pipe in the other. The truth is that I am not surprised by Jake. I'm here now. Tell me what happened.
First you hide the cities.
What is this? Actually, I knew what it was. That I didn't understand is why there was a picture inside this.
It's a coffin, and what's inside is a picture of our first victim or soul is a victims. They are the Holland family, and they die in the most tragic way possible. They put some poisonous snake drug in their car. They were like crazy. They were bitten everywhere and they died. I think there is no uglier way today. What is interesting is that they received that both a few months before their death. Lad lay in the city receiving that is their stamp.
Does that mean that you're not the first to receive a coffin?
Exactly, in Doral there are three Hollands. The coroner and family friend of the Hollands. Although we are not sure about the Holland's friends since we never found the coffin. Maybe it was a terrible coincidence.
After all of talking about the case, Jake received a call. He seemed happy half if something immediately changed.
Yes, okay, we 11 go tomorrow.
Who was it?
It doesn't matter now. You better go to sleep tomorrow we 11 go.
For the first time, I felt that I was more interested in continuing to talk than in going to sleep. Even thought it was passed down, and as soon as I touched the bed, it was as if something caught me in it.
The next day, Jake woke up very early. Said that he was still sleepy. He decided to leave it at that.
Are you planning to sleep all day or what?
I thought it was so early that I didn't know who I was talking to. Hello? Who am I talking to?
I'm Jake.
Jake? Oh my god. What hours it is?
It's 11 a.m. Hey, I got but they were expecting my house.
Jake and Tizzy continued on their way. Jake looked a little different, as if something has bitten him. They were heading for a house where there were two women who looked over 40 and their appearance was like that of a man who even with makeup could not hide know how ugly they were.
Jake looks too happy. Maybe one of those ladies will have an intimate relationship with Jake.
Upon arriving at the house, the two ladies welcome Jake and TC with a glass of wine in hand. After spending some time talking about the cow, it's true of that Mr. Connors did not like the subject and that was keen. He was Jake's main suspect and Mr. Connors trusted Queen completely to accuse him without any evidence. Mr. Connors got angry with Jake and went to sleep leaving Eddie. Jake and TC alone. The tension between Jake and Eddie was felt even more until finally Eddie and Jake held hands as if they wanted each other, even though Jake looked very worried, until he decided it was time to go to somewhere else.
I wish I knew more about this guy. I don't know why Jake didn't let me know more about him. Where do we go from here? And what are you two Eddie?
We are going to IQ, and ID is my fiance. We will be married next summer. What you don't count is that she has received a coffin.
Isn't that the restaurant of the Queen family? I didn't understand why we were heading there. If he was the main suspect of Jake. And if he received a coffin, it means.
Yes, for some time now I have been interrogating both Queen. He invites me in the evenings to play chess and take opportunity to interrogate him, but he always changes to suspect.
A singular new design, a re-engineered chip, and 5G. This is iPhone 12 Pro. The vertical band is precision machined from stainless steel. The ceramic shield on the front is tougher than any smartphone glass. And tighter borders allow for even larger Super Retina XDR displays. 5G is set to change the world with radically faster speeds. The hardware and software have been optimized for the best 5G experience. A14 Bionic has a smaller 5nm transistor which pushes the most powerful chip in the smartphone generations ahead. A new and improved Pro camera system makes the 12 Pro the photographer's iPhone. The larger iPhone 12 Pro Max takes these innovations even further. Its bigger sensor dramatically increases the detail captured and helps improve low light performance by 87%. The custom-designed LiDAR scanner puts advanced depth mapping technology in your pocket. You can now take a night mode portrait and unlock a new world of possibilities for augmented reality. iPhone 12 Pro.
Hey, this bout is to remind you about this wonderful book called Coffin Carved by Hands by Ramon Capó. And please like this video and subscribe to our channel, which is free. Has you done it? Well, we continue with the novel. After arriving at BQ, Jake began his chess game against Bob, while they talked as if they were best friends. TC was having a conversation with Bob's wife. They talked about which she was watching TV without sound until TC heard checkmate.
Finally, my turn came. Jake had a very strange face, as if he wanted me to investigate him and continue with the conversation they were having. They were talking about the camera that Bob had and that he liked to photograph in his free time. Do you like photography?
I only take pictures in my spare time, sometimes of my cattle or of some landscape and think nothing extravagant.
I tried to ask him about the photograph, but he kept quiet and kept playing as if nothing had happened. Unfortunately, my game ended sooner than expected, and we had to leave. Here, Jake and I were separated as I was taking the flight to go to New York again. A few months later, I received a telegram from Jake with an invitation to the wedding, and unfortunately, I had a trip to Europe planned for that date. A few months later, I received another telegram saying that the wedding was postponed, and I was a little relieved that I could go on my trip and also go to the wedding. I was about to finish my trip until I met an old man who was on his way to Istanbul, and I decided to accompany him. It was a 4-day trip and we didn't let the room at all just to get our bottles of wine and vodka. The day of the wedding arrived, and I was still on my trip. The truth is, I was so drunk that I even forgot about the wedding. So that same day I decided to go to New York. I arrived in New York and the first thing I saw was a pile of letters, some of them from Jake, others from Mr. Connors. But the one that caught my attention was one from Jake that said to call him urgently. That night I tried to contact him but it was not possible. So I called Mr. Connors. We had a long conversation and he told me that unfortunately Addie has died. It was something unexpected because he told me that she drowned in the Blue River. It was devastating news at that moment, and I understood Jake's urgent telegram. Mr. Connors told me where I could find Jake. It was in Oregon, in the house of one of her children. Called the number she gave me and Mr. Connors, and finally I found Jake.
You finally got home?
Yes, it was a long trip. I heard about it from Mr. Connors.
Yes. What did he tell you?
Well, he told me that she died drowned in the Blue River.
Of course, he said that.
Jake hung up on me, a little bit upset. It took me a few years to talk to Jake again, but in all the time, I got letters from Mr. Connors, who moved into an aunt's house as she was left alone in such a big house and started working in a circus. She says she has a lot of fun. I decided to go back to town and talk to Bob Quinn since Jay was retiring from his position as a detective, and we was going to live in Oregon with his son. I went to Bob's restaurant where his youngest daughter met me and took me to where he was fishing. When I arrived, he showed me every trout he had caught, so I went over and I sat down next to him.
Is Jake coming with you?
Yes, he's coming with me.
Someone told me that you are leaving the apartment.
Yes, he's going to live in Oregon.
What a shame we could have been such good friends. If it weren't for these damn suspicions, he even took a clarity. See it this way. It was the hand of God, the work of God, His will.